Welcome in everybody to essentially the Thanksgiving episode. This is going to be going live a day before Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's having some great food, great times with family. Rapid fire real quick. What is your top 5 Thanksgiving items, foods? What would be your personal top 5? No order, and then I'll give mine.
Number one, without a doubt for me, is pumpkin pie. Easily. That's what I look forward to every year. Yes, number one.
Really?
Number one for me is pumpkin pie.
Okay.
Number two would probably be
if you don't have
mac
an order,
and
you could
cheese.
just okay.
I'll probably put mac and
That's fair.
cheese. 3, I'll go if it's done right. Obviously, turkey's controversial because it's either it's a hit or miss, but when it's done right, turkey for me is really good, especially the dark meat. 4, let's see, 4. Not the biggest ham guy. I know you like ham. Ham's just whatever for me.
That's gonna make my top 5 for sure.
4. What would 4 be?
You got mashed potatoes. I
just want to go simple too, because I know
rolls.
everybody does different things. So
Yeah.
you might have stuff that people are used to in there. So but then again, I don't want to go too
greens.
basic. So it's like,
got deviled eggs. I don't know if that's really super common. I know that's something our family
it
does.
is. I'm pretty sure it is. 4. I'll go like some type of greens. I like Brussels sprouts. That's my favorite. Like a good, roasted, charred Brussels sprouts. They just did that at my work's potluck on last Friday. That was, oh my God, that was so good. 5 will go. We'll just go fresh rolls, homemade rolls, or some type of homemade bread with like butter.
That's a good. Yeah, I get you.
Like a little
It's
appetizer
a solid top
type
5.
thing.
Solid top 5. I think mine, number 1, mac and cheese. Number 2, ham. And then I don't think there's any order over my next 3. I would have mashed potatoes. I would have mashed potatoes with gravy. I would have for my other 2, honestly, bro, I was never a big fan of them, but over the past few years, bro, I'm in love with deviled eggs. Like I need that on my plate every single time. And then the last one,
I just forgot about one on mine. I'm gonna say stuffing. Stuffing at 5. A good stuffing. Add gravy to it because sometimes stuffing can be a little dry, but when everything's on your plate and it's all like for me, I wouldn't say mix into one, but it's like I'm getting a bite of everything.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm chewing one thing at once. Like I got a bite of everything in my mouth at once. If you know what I mean.
It's almost like a loaded potato, bro. You just gotta have everything on there.
Yeah.
And then last place, or not last place, but the last one, because there's no real order in these last 3. I'm really not the biggest turkey guy or stuffing. When they're done well, I think they can be really good, but I don't know if they'll make my top 5. Yeah, I'd probably go some type of greens in my last spot. But yeah, those are some solid top 5s. We got a lot of football to talk about in today's episode. Some firings going on, some injury news, some teams that I want to touch on. And then we also got a fun segment that I'm excited to get into where we're going to be looking at some of the biggest moments over the past decade. But you guys know the drill. Before all of that, pregame talk with my main man, Jaden. What do we got today?
So today we got is this year's – all right, so I wouldn't even say it's a race. Obviously, I think Myles Garrett has pretty much wrapped up this award, would you say, for Defensive Player of the Year. It's pretty much his award to lose.
I think
no, you don't think so?
I'm not saying that he doesn't, but I think it's going to be interesting to see if they give defensive player of the year to a non-playoff team. I can't remember the last time we seen that, like off the top of my head. I mean, if you're going back through defensive player of the year winners, like TJ Watt's been in the playoffs every year for his, Aaron Donald was in the playoffs every year for his, Patrick Surtain, Stephon Gilmore, like I
think that's just a happenstance type thing.
I think it's just when it comes to offensive.
This might be one of the best defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
best defensive seasons ever. That's the thing.
I'm not saying he won't win it or he shouldn't,
but I mean the odds too. That's the thing. The odds got him. I mean, this isn't the end all be all, but he's at minus 1,000 right now.
Yeah,
on the betting odds.
I wanna see if I can check real quick just at some of the.
I'm looking. I am looking right now. Yeah, all these guys have made the playoffs. Maybe one of these J.J. Watt years, they didn't. Yeah, they made it that year.
Yeah, like you'd have to go back really far, bro. Like
so this is a good one. This is a good one. All right. So I don't know if JJ's the first ever unanimous defensive player of the year winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about that, but I know he did it in 2014 and nobody's done it since. Mm-hmm. But my question was, is this the first? I mean, you're going to say no because I mean, we kind of just got your opinion on it, but is this the most like clearest consensus defensive player of the year winner since JJ Watt?
I think
because so for like MVP, like, you know, every year, like not every year, but some years there is, you know, years where it's like, oh, okay, we know Lamar Jackson was going to win in 2019. We knew like who's another example for this? You know, throw me some names. I'm kind of blanking here.
As far as like award winners that are for sure going to win it, you're saying?
Yeah, like offensive player of the year. Like I know CMC in with like 2023 or 2022, it was like obvious he was going to win it when he had like crazy amount of touchdowns.
Even though I think Jamar had an unreal year, I think Saquon was the clear winner last year because of the 2000s and the amount of records he broke.
But I'm saying there's still a conversation for some of these though. Like most of these.
Yeah, I get you.
Or there is also a consensus too for a lot of them too. Like you said with Saquon. But like defensive player of the year, it seems like most of the time, like there's always like two players up there. Like you really aren't for sure who's gonna win it. Yeah. Like last year, Surtain, we didn't know 100% if Surtain was gonna win it. The year before that, Myles Garrett and T.J. Watt, I believe that was like statistically the closest defensive player of the year race we've ever had. Mm-hmm. Nick Bosa, I'm pretty sure he was pretty close to consensus that year. I know he had most of the first place votes.
Yeah.
But like if you look at all these seasons, like in terms of like voting, like there's never been like a clear consensus winner. Like, you know, some guys get 70%, you know, 80%, but like basically, my question was: is this year's Myles Garrett? Is this the most clear consensus?
I think since JJ Watt. I think there is one specific year I think you're missing that I think was pretty heavy consensus. The best year of Aaron Donald's career in 2018.
Yeah, I know.
And a half.
Yeah,
I want to say the only player that got a vote off the top of my head would have been that Khalil Mack year because
it was 45-5 that year, 90-10 voting splits.
Because I know that Mac started that year. I don't know, Mac missed some games that year, but yeah, I know that year that Aaron Donald had, which was the best year of his career, he was a very heavy consensus. But is there a world where Myles Garrett could go unanimous this year? I think it's definitely possible. I mean, if he breaks a sack record, it's hard not to. It's just, again, it's not me saying that he shouldn't, but it's just going to be interesting. I mean, like I said, I from the names that I just pulled up here, the Defensive Player of the Year winners, I don't think we've had a Defensive Player of the Year since 2000 not make the playoffs. Like, that just doesn't happen. I mean, I could even go back further.
Watt.
Or JJ.
When he won unanimous.
Did you say that they didn't make it that year?
Yeah, 2014. When he won the unanimous, they didn't make it.
Okay,
I'm also looking too. I don't see a clear.
That would make sense then, because I do remember that. That's actually funny. I remember because obviously I'm a huge JJ Watt fan. He's one of the players that really got me into the sport. Remember watching him so much growing up, and I specifically remember that year so vividly. and remember thinking to myself, like, if the Texans make the playoffs, like, you just have to give him MVP as a defensive player. I mean, the stuff he was doing, I mean, he also scored like 3 offensive touchdowns or 4 offensive touchdowns that year. Like, the dude was doing things that shouldn't be possible, and he did it for a very long stretch. Or I guess 4 years is not very long, but that dominant for a 4-year stretch is something that will never be replicated in our lifetime. I'm confident in that. But
all right, so I got the numbers right here. There's been 4 players since the 2000s to win it and not make the playoffs, and that is
wow, that's actually a significant amount more than I thought.
Yeah, Michael Strahan in 2001 when he broke the sack record.
Wow,
Jason Taylor in 2006.
Okay.
There was another one. I'm missing it. Ed Reed in 2004. Ravens went 9-7 and they missed the playoffs. And then obviously J.J. Watt in 2014. Consensus.
I mean, hearing that makes me feel that they will. Now, the thing with it though, J.J. Watt's team went 9-7. Ed Reed's team, you said, went 9-7. What did the Giants?
Strahan, they were negative. Go? They went 7-9, and I believe the Dolphins also 6-10.
6-10.
I think the Browns will considerably have like probably 4 or 5 wins in this year.
I'm saying there's a chance the Browns don't win.
But it's like their
game.
Defense is still so good though.
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%.
points allowed. They're not like highest because obviously their offense is so bad. They're on the field so much, but it's like they're still an amazing defense. I mean, there's only so much a defense can do. I mean, look who they're going out there with quarterback with. Look who's on their offense. Like they don't have nothing.
No,
it's just 100%. It's a weird situation we've never really seen before.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, you put that defense on, let's say, a team like the Patriots. Like the Patriots jump into heavy contention with how great they look. You give the Bears that Browns defense, even though the Bears defense has been playing well, like that's the level that the Browns are at, where it's like you put them on these like top 15, you give them a top 15 offense and they're a legit contender. That's how great that defense is playing. But is this a year where he can go unanimous? I think if he breaks it, hearing that information, and especially with Jason Taylor and Michael Strahan going 6-10, 7-9, I think there's a chance. I think there is a chance that he can. It's just, it's going to be, I think, obviously I've been playing a little bit of a guessing game here, but if they end with 3 or 4 wins, it's got to be some of the lowest wins ever for a major award as far as MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. Like that's got to be bottom of the barrel as far as wins, but you can't knock what he's doing. He chose to stay here, and he understood what came with it, and he's still going to be one of the greatest defensive players that we've ever seen. And it's funny that we had that conversation a few pods ago now about how high he can get on an all-time edge list, and with a season like this, now potentially 2 Defensive Player of the Years over the past 3 years, I mean he's going to skyrocket up that list. He's going to skyrocket. He's having one of the best primes we've ever seen from a defensive player. And I don't know if I see him stopping. He's almost getting better with age, which is something that's rare.
They also have a very favorable schedule the rest of the season. Like for him to reach, 5 sacks that he needs. Right. They play the Titans still. They play the Bears. They play the Steelers, and they play the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he should be able to crush that.
And then the ones I left out, the Niners, they have a solid offensive line. The Bills also have, but I mean it's Myles Garrett. I mean he could still go crazy. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, and the Bills' offensive line has been somewhat underwhelming, especially pass blocking wise.
It's crazy because they started off the year so good too.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's injuries or what. Like I honestly don't know what's been up with them. I haven't been keeping up with their line.
The Bills are in such a bad spot right now, despite, like, it's crazy to say that despite them still being a Super Bowl contender when you have that guy at quarterback. But I think if they fall short once again, I'm expecting a complete blow up over there as far as coaching. I think they're literally their head coach, offensive coordinator, and defensive coordinator are all going to be gone. But that actually is a good segment. So I want to answer your question too fully before I move on. Your question was, do I think that he can be unanimous, or do I think that this is the widest range since J.J. Watt?
Yeah, the most I'm not saying will he be unanimous. I'm saying like, is this like one of the most consensus like seasons for a defensive player of the year since J.J. Watt?
I would say 100%. And the beginning of the
there
year,
was that Aaron Donald season, and then there was that. I think that Nick Bosa's, even like T.J. Watt's 22.5 sack season, he didn't have that high of the vote share. Which I know, there's a lot of angry Steelers fans around these days that are.
Yeah.
But Mike had a really good season that year too. So did Aaron Donald. But yeah.
TJ
That's
Watt,
what he's competing with.
TJ Watt is such a funny edge rusher too, because he is without a doubt a Hall of Famer, one of the best players over the past decade. But it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like he just I don't know. It's like he doesn't feel as dominant as some of the other forces that you think of. It's weird to say that. And I think a lot of people would agree that aren't Steelers fan. And trust me, if I was a Steelers fan, man, he'd be looked, in my eyes, he'd be the best player of all time. I mean, he's that talented. But it's just funny. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I can't explain it, that he just doesn't feel as dominant as a Myles Garrett or an Aaron Donald, or even in the prime of a Khalil Mack, like some of the edge rushers that we've seen over the past 15, 20 years.
I just think he's not super flashy like those guys. Maybe
that could be.
I mean, he's got the numbers though.
No, yeah,
that's
100%.
Weird to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But he's just not a flashy like his he's beating guys with speed and power, but he's not power like Myles Garrett, just like fucking tossing someone out the way like Reggie White did back in the day. Like,
yeah,
he's not the most finesse guy either, like like a Von Miller or something like that, or like a Myles Garrett. I mean, Myles Garrett is literally both. Like, he just doesn't move like those guys, but he's still a great player, like one of the greatest.
100% Hall of Famer. I probably maybe even first ballot Hall of Famer with his numbers.
But I think it's probably just not flashy. Maybe that makes you feel that way. I guess
it's a weird. I don't know why. It's just how I do. But anyway, I want to stay on the topic of coaching, as I was talking about with the Bills, because we had some coaching news go on this past Sunday with some underperforming teams. 2 coordinators have been fired, one for the Raiders, one for the Giants. The Raiders offensive coordinator Chip Kelly has been fired, and the Giants defensive coordinator Shane Bowen has also been let go. 2 moves that a lot of people saw coming, and 2 moves that are not the last that we're going to see from these 2 teams as far as getting rid of the personnel that they have in front office. I think the Raiders are certainly going to move off Pete Carroll. They're going to move off of Patrick Graham. And I want to touch on the Giants before I get into the Raiders, because I want to go on a small little rant, but I won't go on for too long. The Giants, we a lot of people seen this coming. They're pretty much going to clean house going into next year. They want to set their second year, potential star in Jackson Dart up for success. They felt like the coaching staff that they had was not setting him up to do that. And when you look at the Giants' track record from this season, it was obvious that changes were coming. I mean, they've blown, I want to say 5 10-point leads this season, which is very reminiscent of the 2022 or 2021, I think it's 2022 Raiders, who also, I want to say, blew 5 10-point leads, which I want to say is not a record, but I think it's tied for the most in an NFL season. I could just be yapping, but I want to say I remember seeing that stat. So the Giants are up there, with teams like that, which you don't want to be at all. So the Giants are going to be bringing in a ton of new faces next year. They're going to have a top pick. They have a star quarterback. They have a star receiver. They have stars on defense. I think the Giants are in a prime spot to be a very, very competitive team over the next upcoming years. They just really have to hit on some huge decisions in the front office as far as head coach, defensive coordinator, and offensive coordinator. So it'll be interesting to see what moves they make. But back to the Raiders. And this is what I want to say about this team. I am a huge Raider fan. Been a Raider fan as long as I can remember. Ever since I started watching football. It was, all around me. My father's a huge Raider fan. I have family members that are big Raider fans. It was just they were the local team. It was very easy to watch and see the Raiders growing up around here when they were in Oakland. But I have came to accept what they are and what they are what they are going to continue to be. And that is one of the worst ran franchises in all of sports. And I don't really see that changing at all anytime soon. Mark Davis is one of the most money-hungry owners in all of sports. And he's going to continue doing that. He's not going to change his ways. He's going to continue playing buddy ball with all of his coaching hires, with anybody he hires on this staff. And he's going to follow the big names. He's going to continue to make bad decisions. And I'm in a weird spot as a Raider fan because you care so much and they bring you in. They have these high highs. They draft these superstar players and you want to get bought back in. And then you quickly get reminded just how much of a dumpster fire this team is and this organization. And I have real doubts that this team will ever turn it around. Like I'm talking about, I don't know if I'm ever going to see multiple playoff wins over the next 25 years. Like I understand that anything can happen. I understand that there have been, certain franchises that have went through these crazy droughts. But like, what type of sign is there to say that anything will change with that guy up there in front office in Mark Davis? Like I don't see it. I don't see a world where this can change. You've continuously made the same mistakes over the past 25 years now. I don't want to go on too long with the Raiders, but it's starting to get to a point where it's like, why do I even care about this team anymore? Why do I even care to watch or care to keep up? It's like they have almost sucked everything out of me. Huge pause on that. But I'm failing to care right now about anything they're doing, about any type of direction they're taking. Like the draft is coming up. The Raiders might have the number 1 overall pick. And honestly, like I could care less. Like I don't even know. Like I'm glad that I'm as much of an NFL fan as I am because I'm able to appreciate other teams and other players. Like I don't hold no hatred in my heart for any players or teams or anything like that. I mean, shoot, the Chiefs have been destroying my Raiders ever since I've started watching. They have the best quarterback in the league, and I enjoy watching Patrick Mahomes. I enjoy watching Justin Herbert go out there and play. I enjoy watching that Broncos defense. Like those are my division rivals, and I enjoy watching them because I love the NFL. But it's essentially the complete opposite for the Raiders. I mean, you move to Vegas, being as money hungry as you are, it doesn't really matter how good or bad the team is. You're going to make money. You're worth $7.7 billion. Like, it's a shit show, man. And I don't see any world where this changes over the next 5 to 10 years, like even marginally. Like, it has just consistently gone downhill. I mean, you're talking about a team that has 2 winning seasons since 2002. it's almost harder to do that than it is to accidentally get good. I mean, you got set up with number 1, number 2, top 5 picks, 3 first-round picks in a first round, and all of those guys were gone after their rookie contract. Like, that's unfathomable. That's almost impossible. Like, I genuinely always say, if you would have put me in front office and just said, hey, Devin, we just want you in charge of the first round. That's it. We just want you to draft our first round, which is, that's easy. That's easy to draft the superstars, right? You would think that that's pretty easy. I have full confidence in my heart that if you would have just gave me the first round for the Raiders over the past, 7 years, this team would be a lot more competent than they are. Because I'll tell you, I'm not drafting Cleveland Farrell at 4th overall. I'm not drafting Jonathan Abram with a first round pick. I'm potentially taking Josh Jacobs, but it's still a running back in the first round at the end of the day, when a lot of needs on your team were more hungry for. I don't want to keep going into it because I don't want to make this episode too long and talk about my Raiders too extensively, but I'm just so over this team and this franchise. And I think that's the last you're going to hear about the Raiders from me until Pete Carroll is eventually gone. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I just want to jump in and say respect Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah. A first-round pick for the Raiders, by the way. You want to know a funny story about that? I remember when the Raiders drafted Alex Leatherwood, I was living with my father at the time, and I had the draft up in my room, and I want to say he was in a meeting of some sort, and I'm watching the draft go by. Everybody's taking picks. The Raiders are coming up, and I remember at this pick, I specifically wanted Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. That was my draft dream, and he's been a pretty good player in the NFL so far. Now, who says that he turns into that player with the Raiders, because he was set up for success being in that Browns defense. But I remember that was a player that I really wanted, and when they took him, like, everything just went out of me. And I remember I walked over to my dad, and I was just like, they took Leatherwood, and then I just walked away, because I just had nothing left after that. You had 6 first-round picks in 3 years, and none of those guys are on your team today. Mind you, that draft was 2019, 2020, and 2021. That was, 6, 5, and 4 years ago? You messed that up? It's unreal shit, man. Anyway, let's move on to some different NFL news before I get going again. And this is some pretty big news, I should say. The San Francisco 49ers and Brandon Ayuk are in a crazy situation right now. Let me get the exact report up. The San Francisco 49ers have voided the guaranteed money in Ayuk's contract for 2026, a $24.93 million option bonus. And it is getting messy over there. The outlet reports Ayuk failed to attend meetings and declined to participate in other team activities in recent months, which led to frustration within the organization. The 49ers responded by voiding the guaranteed money in Ayuk's contract for 2026, asserting that the absences amounted to a failure to fulfill his contractual obligations. Ayuk, according to multiple league sources, told the NFL Players Association representatives that he did not want to fight the move via an official grievance that would clear the way for his expected release at the season end. Ayuk signed a 4-year, $120 million extension with the organization in August 2024 after a roller coaster period of contract disputes. Yeah, this is a crazy situation, especially when you consider how much they went through to get that contract done. And then it's like, dude, we're just asking you to show up to just like team meetings and activities. Like, we get it, you're injured, but this injury is now gone for over a year. He got injured in week 7 last year, and we are, in week 12 right now? And it's like you're still not trying to go to any meetings, and he's not fighting this at all. Like when that option came up about them voiding his entire money, he was cool with it. So he is completely okay with getting away from this team, which I don't know if there's something, under the table that's going on. I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, this is a relationship that feels like it cannot be fixed. I had seen some reports that the 49ers are open to bringing back Ayuk if he is willing to, start coming to these meetings and start being a part of the team despite being injured. But yeah, really, really wild situation to a receiver that, had legit superstar potential. This is a player that I want to say had a 1,200 or 1,100 yard season, 3 years ago? Was it 13? 1,300 yards, just 2-3 years ago now? Like that's crazy for it to go downhill like this. So yeah, next season, Brandon Ayuk is probably going to be on another football team. I'm sure he'll get another job. He's that talented, but he's definitely got to clean up his act if he wants to stay in this league for a long time, because NFL owners, they care about their money a lot. And when you're playing with it, they will void that in an instance. And that's what we're seeing with the 49ers and Ayuk. So a wild situation over there in San Francisco. Those are all the real big news stories that I wanted to talk about. We do have some injury news to go over, and we have some pretty good ones, starting with the Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, who went down on Sunday with a sprained left shoulder, has a low-grade sprain, sources said following the MRI. Good news with an eye toward next week. So there is a decent possibility that Baker Mayfield will be playing next week against the Arizona Cardinals. And that's good news for the Bucs. This was a team that started off on a rock star start and has, kind of slipped ever since. A team that had a potential MVP candidate at quarterback in the beginning of the first 3 or 4 games. I think he was leading the league in touchdowns and yards, and it has not looked good really ever since. But some good news that even though he did go down with an injury, which they, obviously would have lost that game anyway, looking like he could potentially be back next week. And staying with the Buccaneers, a player that is expected to make his return next Sunday, and Bucky Irving, who has not played since week 4 due to shoulder and foot injuries. Irving looked strong at practice this week and might have been able to play versus the Rams, but the team decided to hold him out and give him one more week and have him return for next Sunday. So the Bucs are hoping to have their star quarterback and star running back in the lineup next week versus the Arizona Cardinals, and they're definitely going to need those guys, because with them, slipping to what are they 6-4 or 6-5 now? Yeah, 6-5, and the NFC is starting to get pretty competitive in this later stretch. So they definitely need to squeeze out these wins. And if they don't have Baker or Bucky, it can get ugly for sure. But hopefully both of those guys can be ready for next Sunday. Some more, it's a double-parter, some unfortunate and encouraging news. Bengals coach Zach Taylor told reports, geez, can I speak, please? Bengals coach Zach Taylor told reporters that on Joe Burrow, anticipate him playing, but no official determination. And he's definitely going to be playing. He posted on his story the iconic photo of him in that LeBron James jersey with the Snapchat, typing saying, "I'm back." So he's going to be playing on Thanksgiving versus the Ravens, which is a nice thing. You always want good games on Thanksgiving, and Joe Burrow being there should hopefully make that a pretty competitive game. Now, they are going to be without 2 of their top players. This is where that double-parter comes in. T. Higgins with a concussion and Trey Hendrickson with a hip are both ruled out for that game. So despite them bringing back their superstar MVP-type quarterback, They're going to be without, their second best receiver, second best offensive option, and their best defensive player. So some good and bad news, unfortunately, for Bengals fans. Those are all the injury news that I wanted to talk about. And I have 2 games and really 2 teams that I specifically want to talk about from this past week of football. And we're going to start out with the first game of the week, and that was the Thursday night game where the Houston Texans took on the Buffalo Bills and put on a show on the defensive side of the ball. The Texans defense versus the Bills had 8 sacks, 28 pressures, 2 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery. And their superstar edge duo, Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, combined for 4.5 sacks, 17 pressures, and a 36.1 pass rush win rate. That is some unreal stuff. And the reason why I wanted to really talk about this Texans team, which I gave this team some love over the past few weeks, specifically in that solo episode where I talked about multiple different Super Bowl caliber defenses around the league, this being one of them. I think it's so crazy that the Texans now, 2 years ago, had that C.J. Stroud rookie season where they were on top of the world. You take C.J. Stroud with the second overall pick, you trade up for Will Anderson Jr., and you make the playoffs with a team that traded their next first-round pick, their first-round pick for the following year. And a lot of people, including myself, thought that was a pretty risky move. I get it. You're moving up for a player that you feel like is a can't-miss prospect. And trust me, he's been every bit worth of it so far in his career. But it was a dicey move for sure. And it's like, this is a team that could easily go out there and win 5 games. And you just potentially gave up a top 5 pick. And they go out there, they make the playoffs. C.J. Stroud is in, greatest rookie quarterback of all time conversations. They go out there and win a playoff game, make it to the divisional. Like, they felt like they were on top of the world. And as an organization, when you have a rookie quarterback who is that good on that type of contract, you have to go out there and attack it. You have to go build the best team around him that you can. And the Texans did that, but partially. I just can't believe that they have a defense this good and they're not Super Bowl contenders because they just could not figure out that offensive line. It's a crazy scenario because you also had Nico Collins during that C.J. Stroud rookie year, which was his, I want to say second. It could have been third year, but I want to say it was his second year. You had Tank Dell, who was also a rookie with C.J. Stroud, who was showing out. And it's just like Tank Dell has battled injuries ever since then. The offensive line, you had a superstar in Laramie Tunsil, who you unfortunately traded away because the contract was just too much. You went out, you made some type of effort when you traded for Shaq Mason, although he was certainly not the player that he once was after arriving to Houston. But it's funny. It's funny how the NFL works. You felt like you were a team that was a few pieces away from being a legit contender when you have a quarterback like C.J. Stroud out there. And man, it's weird. It's weird. In my mind, there's no way that the Texans shouldn't be Super Bowl contenders with that defense, but here we are. They are certainly not that, but they certainly can sneak into the playoffs. I mean, they're on a 3-game winning streak right now, sitting at 6-5 after starting 0-3. So the Texans are playing some damn good football and some of the best in the league on that defensive side of the ball. The other game that I want to talk about is the Rams versus the Buccaneers, and specifically the Rams. Because I feel like the Rams are almost in a tier of their own when it comes to any other team in the league, really. I mean, I get it. They played the Eagles this year, a team in their same conference, and obviously they had that blown lead to them. But I can confidently say, I think if they rematch the Eagles right now, I think they convincingly win against those guys. I mean, they're just playing top 10 or top tier level football at almost every position you can think of. Their offensive line, their receivers, quarterback play, certainly, their defensive line, their secondary, like everything. And on top of that, you throw, the best coach in the league, Sean McVay? I mean, it feels like it's almost Super Bowl or bust for this team. Like it's getting to that point where it's almost like if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's kind of disappointing. You know what I mean? You always have that one or two teams each year where it's like they're dominating so much where if they don't make it or win the Super Bowl, it's pretty disappointing. You know, you had that with, I'm trying to think of like teams over the past, like that Lamar Jackson first breakout year where the Ravens were like taking over the league. It felt like, bro, that team should walk to the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, you know, they got first rounded, or I guess second rounded because they had the bye. But that's the type of trajectory that I'm looking at for this Rams team. I mean, I really feel like they're in a tier of their own against every other team, and especially with that guy number 9 at quarterback. Matthew Stafford over his last 8 games, 25 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He currently has 30 touchdowns on the year, 30 passing, and 2 interceptions. A 15-1 touchdown interception ratio. I mean, what more can you say? The second most talented thrower of the football we've ever seen. I don't think it's crazy. I think it's him and Rodgers. I've said that multiple times on this podcast before. That's no disrespect to any other quarterback. Obviously, Brady is the greatest of all time. He's the smartest quarterback of all time. But when you talk about pure talent of placing that football where no one else besides your guy can get it, man, I think Matthew Stafford is just one of those guys, dude. I mean, his longevity is up there with some of the greatest of all time. If he walks his way into an MVP and a Super Bowl, that's just crazy. It's just crazy that you can turn around your career that much after being on the Lions for so long. I wish he would have got out of there earlier than this, but I mean, hell, if he ends up with 2 rings and an MVP, I don't think he's complaining about nothing. I mean, truly an all-time talent at quarterback, and it helps a lot when you have 2 of the best hands in the league in Puka and Devontae, which is funny, though, because especially as a Raider fan, having Devontae on your team for a few years, Devontae Adams is clearly one of the best receivers we've ever seen, one of the best route runners, sure hands, everything that you can think of in a receiver he has. But for some reason, he just has some of the most head-scratching drops you'll ever see. He had that especially in this Bucs game where he had one where I think it was like some type of out route. He killed the Buccaneers cornerback wide open and just drops right off his hands. He will have that. He'll be having a game where he's playing flawless, and then he'll just have one of the worst drop you've ever seen. And everybody's human. He's going to make mistakes, but it's just funny because I feel like he does that a lot. Maybe Packers fans will agree with me there. Maybe he just started that when he came to the Raiders, and the games that I've watched of the Rams, I've seen it multiple times. But it's just funny how he'll just have these really, really bad drops for being such a great receiver. It's funny. But yeah, the Rams are a hell of a team and should be and are the Super Bowl favorites. And I cannot wait for the playoffs, man. I really can't. But that is everything that I wanted to talk about before we get into these top 10 moments. And let's just get straight into it because I'm excited. So to give a little bit of context here, there was this viral tweet on NBA Twitter that was posted by The Athletic. Currently, it has over 4 million views. It was titled "The Biggest On-Court NBA Moments of the 21st Century." This is the writers ranked the most significant moments since 2000, so over the past 25 years. Now, we're not going 25 years because first of all, we're not alive for the first 2 years of that. And also, I mean, we didn't really start watching football until, 2012-ish, I would say, is when I first really started getting introduced into it. So we're going back to 2015 over the past 10 years, and we are going to try to rank the top 10 most significant moments over the past 10 years. And this is going to be kind of a mix of moments and games, because on the NBA one, it is listed the number one moment. It's, the block by James, which obviously one of the greatest plays, if not the greatest play in NBA history. But you also have things like Kobe's final game. So technically not a moment, but a game. You have stuff like the free throw disparity in the 0-2 Western Conference Finals, where that was really a whole series. You know what I mean? So they have a bunch of different things on here. They obviously have certain moments like the Ray Allen shot from the corner. But we're kind of going as far as our rankings and our, criteria, we're going with moments plus games. We kind of want to stay away from like a Jaden Daniels rookie season. Like obviously that's a huge, thing that happened, but we're more so looking at moments / games. So that's going to be our criteria. We got 21 options here to look from, and we're going to...
I also want to say a lot of things on their list seem to be like playoff oriented, or I don't know how to say that word. Yeah, like there is some on there. Like I think they had like Steph Curry's game in the Olympics.
Yeah,
and obviously
you
said Kobe's final game, but I feel like most of those were like greatest. Like they had like playoff implications on them, or like finals implications on them.
Yeah,
and a lot of ours don't.
Yeah,
a lot of ours are also like regular season things.
And there are certainly, obviously, some moments in here from the playoffs that will hold a lot more value, but. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. Like I said, we got 21 things up here. Things from, the 28-3 comeback, the Philly special, Mahomes 13 seconds. A lot of moments, a lot of games up here. So let's just get straight into it. We have 21 options up here. What, in your opinion, is like one that you think for sure makes the top 10, or not even one, but what is like a few that like stand out to you where it's like these 100% are top 10?
For me, I think the Minneapolis Miracle has to be in the top 10.
100%.
For sure.
100%.
Another one for me, I would say the Philly special.
Okay.
Just to play.
I agree.
Yeah, just to play. Another one for me, I would probably say the Saints no call.
Yep, I'm right.
Against the Rams in 2018.
I'm right with you on that. Now, hold on. We got 3 out the way that I agree with for sure. I think those 3. Let's go 3 on the opposite end. Is there 3 that you look at where it's like I don't think these are touching the top 10? Respectfully.
Respectfully, I know you put these on here, and they are amazing plays, but I think the catches, like the Jefferson, the Pickens, the Garrett Wilson catches, they're amazing catches, but I just don't think I just don't hold them. They're good catches, but I feel like they don't hold enough value for me.
They're not as
in my
significant.
Opinion.
Like for
they're
example,
they're amazing catches. Like don't get me wrong, but
I
don't know. I feel like, in my opinion, I don't know if you feel the same.
No, 100%. I can agree with you. And again, since we're only going back to 2015, there are a lot of plays that will not make it. But if there was, if this was 2014, the OBJ 100%
would have. But that absolutely like broke the sports world.
Yeah.
Like that's so much more than just
that would have
been
probably. I mean, you could argue that's number 1. I mean, it's that significant and influential in the sports world. But I can agree with that. I think the only catch out of those 3 that I would have argued is like the Jefferson one, just because that catch was so incredible and like that game was also crazy. But yeah, as far as top 10, I don't think that makes it.
I think also probably the Cam Dicker breaking the field goal record.
Yeah. I you know what's funny? I almost feel like Justin Tucker's record breaking before this one almost felt more influential and like bigger when it happened. Like I don't know. I it was like I barely even saw it. Like obviously it happened against my Raiders, but like I barely even saw anything about it. And it was like That's like one of the craziest like things you can see in football. And it was like, yeah, I just didn't see it yet. I agree.
Just didn't hit. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I think.
Also, did you put Cam Dicker?
Yeah. No. Oh my God.
Is it Cam Little?
Cam Little. That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Cam
I just
Little.
realized that.
I was just in go mode when I was writing this, and I just Cam Little, obviously, who broke the record. But yeah,
I just don't know. I just feel like maybe he's just because he's a rookie and or I don't know, second year. I don't know. There wasn't much aura. There wasn't much aura behind it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I can agree with that.
And I think the last one we could for sure take off is probably the 28-3 comeback.
Right.
That has no room in the top 10.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So so the next thing, so go ahead and take that off the list.
No. And obviously Jaden's a Falcons fan, so this one hurts for sure. But that, you know what? As a Falcons fan, one that I was listing on here.
Skip the topic, bro.
What? No, not even on that. But one that I listed on here myself because this was a crazy moment. But does it sniff the top 10 as far as Julio's 300 game?
I think it does. I think it should.
Is that or in consideration? You think that should be in consideration?
I think it should.
Once we nail it. Okay. So what is? I'm trying to think here. What is? You know which one that I like to eliminate here, or I'd like to, and see if you're on the same page. I'd like to get rid of the Chiefs comeback versus the Texans. Because right. I think there are more significant games. Like, obviously, that one was a playoff game, but we also have, like, the Vikings with the biggest comeback in NFL history. We have the Chiefs-Rams game that is, like, the best offensive game ever. I mean, we have some other game. We have, like, the Mahomes-Brady Super Bowl that I think is a better game that we have on here. I think we just have overall better games and moments from those games. So I think, me personally, I think that one I wouldn't have really near the top 10. Is that comfortable with you? Yeah. Okay. So that's another one that we got.
The Mahomes Brady Super Bowl. Are you holding that like so high because of like how well? Like, what's the reason you're holding?
I'm holding that high because it's, you know, going into it was like a GOAT versus GOAT. You know, Mahomes Brady, that's probably going to be the best versus second best quarterback of all time. Like, once Mahomes' career is all done, he's, you know, going to be the second best. It's going to be hard to catch Brady, but I think he's consensus going to be the second best. And it's like, to see them in a Super Bowl is pretty wild, even though the game wasn't very competitive, which if you believe that means that it's not a top 10 moment, I can understand that. But like, just for right now, just as far as teams that we're thinking, like, oh, should we keep, or not teams, but moments or games, like, should we keep it, should we not? I would just hold off for now until we see what else we like and don't like, unless you're just like fully against it.
No, I was just trying to figure out like your view on it, why you're holding it that high. If it's just because like just the title of it being Mahomes versus Brady. And you're also like just thinking about, I thought you were gonna like talk about how like just how like, you know, well Mahomes actually performed in that game despite, you know, the stat sheet and despite the score, like the throws he was making in that game and what he had to overcome, you know, both starting tackles being hurt and being pressured the most by any quarterback in Super Bowl history and still you know, making some of the stuff he did. But I mean, you didn't mention that, so I don't know. Yeah, we could keep it up for now.
Okay. I'm trying to think of any others. Let's go back to for sure keeps. So 28-3 is a for sure keep. I'm sorry, but it is.
I'd argue that could be an honorable mention.
The 28-3 for sure. I'm trying to think. Would you put Mahomes 13 should probably be in the top 10, right? That feels safe. That feels like it's a very memorable moment. Like
Is
it was all over the sports world. Like you see the memes.
I'd argue
where
Miracle
like,
in Miami might be
you think that's a bigger moment?
That's just such a crazy play, bro. Like we see teams try to pull off things like that, the laterals at the like stuff like that all the time, and it never works. And that was to win the game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Obviously, it's a regular season game, but I mean, I don't know.
If
I feel like that's pretty crazy.
So if we're talking, we only have what the Miracle in Miami last second play. Are you having that over, let's say, the infamous Rodgers Hail Marys or the Daniels Hail Marys or the Hopkins Hail Mary over 3 defenders? Would you have that play over, or that moment over those? Because I'm trying to compare it to its peer. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm like sectioning these in like archetypes, and this is like last second wins, last second plays. Would you have that over those two? Because that Hopkins 3 defenders one I really like. I do. Now it's going to be close if it makes top 10, but I like that. And I'm not against Miracle in Miami, but I'm just curious to what you think.
I feel like the Rodgers Hail Marys were better to me. Like I know the catch, the Hopkins over 3 defenders, but I don't know. Just maybe it's just a little nostalgic.
And is that the Lions one or the Cardinals ones?
I was thinking of the Lions one.
Yeah,
I don't know. That one feels more nostalgic. It's also on his birthday,
and
on my birthday. No, it's a fact.
It's so like vintage. Like now Rodgers is just known as the greatest Hail Mary thrower ever. So I can understand that, because especially you're considering significant. Like, yeah,
I don't know. That just was so different in Detroit too. Like I don't know. It's nostalgic. I don't know. Maybe I'm being just too nostalgic. But for me, that one hits harder than the Hopkins and the other Rodgers and the Daniels one.
Okay. You know what? I can agree with you there, because Rodgers is so infamous for that, and it is such a memorable and play. I can agree with you there. I'll go ahead and side with that and keep Rodgers in the top 10. So with that, do you think Miracle in Miami still deserves a top 10 spot? Because right now we're at 5 for sure top 10s. 28-3, Saints no call, Minneapolis Miracle, Rodgers Hail Mary, Philly special. Is Miracle in Miami one of the next 5?
We go hold off for now. That's a tough one, bro. I don't know.
Do you know which one that I think deserves a top 10?
What?
Double Doink.
Yeah.
I think that is like one crazy. Of the that might be like what a top, especially because it's a miss. It's like a top 3 kick ever. Like you think of just kicks in history, like you're gonna think of the double doink. Like it's so infamous, especially happening in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I think I'd go with that. So double doink will be our 6th one in the top 10. Is there any others where we're on the fence about the Mahomes, the Miracle? As far as moments or plays, do you like the Henry 99-yard run versus the Jags or the Saquon backwards hurdle in here as far as plays? Or I'm not even mentioning the Stafford no-look in the Super Bowl. I like the Stafford no-look in the Super Bowl, bro.
I'm iffy on that one still.
Because it led to the game-winning drive, and I think that was a 3rd down. Like
he does that shit all the time, though, bro.
But I'm saying, like, it was like
it is
moment.
In the Super Bowl, but like that's
Super Bowl 3rd
that's like
down,
that's like his
drive.
Thing, though. His ass is doing that every game. I just feel like it doesn't hit the same just because I don't know, he does it all the time.
On the big,
but it is iconic though. Yeah, it is in the Super Bowl. It is. I don't know. I was on the fence about. If you want to put it, we could put it. I was just on the fence about that one.
So if you're looking at those three specific plays, since those are the last three we have, where
as a player, I mean, Henry's not. I mean, you have to, but then it's like Saquon fucking hurdled somebody fucking backwards. Like how can you not
ever see that again?
Who the fuck can do that? I'm gonna be honest. Who's doing that?
I honestly like. Are you comfortable as a keep? I like that as a keep. Now that I'm really sitting, because I'm thinking about it, I don't know if we ever see that again.
Yeah.
Like, and if we do, it's not gonna it's gonna happen.
We might
again.
We might see it again with that man coming into the league next year.
You talking about Jeremiah Love? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, that dude is unreal. But honestly, I like it. As far as a specific play, I don't think we'll ever see a backwards hurdle again. Yeah, I think it's one of the crazy. I think it really is, even though it didn't get the hype. As far as a specific play, I mean, it could be on par with an OBJ catch. Honestly, it's obviously it's not going to have the same influence in the sports world.
It's as impressive.
Yeah, and you could argue even more impressive. I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. I can agree with that. So now we're up to what, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No clip farm. So 3 left. So we have 3 left.
I think we could take off Miracle in Miami. We could take it off.
You don't like it? Okay.
Yeah, we get like less controlling it up there. We could take off the Julio's 300-yard game. Okay. Make it easier to look at everything.
I was gonna agree with that as well. So now we're left with 3 spots, and our options are Stafford no look, Henry 99 yards, Mahomes Brady Super Bowl, Hopkins over 3 defenders, Mahomes 13 seconds, DeMar Hamlin, Chiefs versus Rams, Vikings 33-0 comeback. If I had to guess, or if I had to give my next one, I think it's going to be DeMar. And I say that for 2 reasons. One, the moment, obviously, that it happened was one of the craziest moments in sports that I've witnessed, where we legitimately didn't know if we saw a man die on the field or not. For everything to, transpire, and then the following game that they return a kick all the way to the house, the first play of the game in honor of him, I think that's a legendary sports moment, in my opinion.
I thought you were saying you're taking it off the list next.
No. I'm saying I'm
I'd like
for
to.
it.
I was thinking about putting that at 10. I like that at 10. I feel like
okay, but you like that on the list.
We could put it on the list. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking, as far as significant moments over the past 10 years, I mean, it's got to be up there for me. So we're up to 8 now. We have 2 spots left. I
think we take off the Stafford no look. I'm sorry.
You think so?
Just let's conjoin this stuff, Ed. I'm looking at it. I'm not liking it.
All right. I was for it. Rams fans, I gave Stafford some love this episode, but
man, fuck the rant. No, I'm joking.
All right. Is there, which one I think can go? I think the I was gonna say
Chiefs versus Rams.
I was gonna say Mahomes Brady Super Bowl.
Yeah, get that out of here. I forgot that was still here.
It? Okay, get that shit out of here. I'm like agreeing with. I think if that game was much better, I think it's without a doubt on here. But unfortunately, it was a blowout. It was very hyped up. So now we have 2 spots left. We have the essentially Henry's Beast Quake, we'll call it, or Henry's King Quake. We have Hopkins over 3 defenders, Mahomes 13 seconds, Chiefs, Rams, Vikings 33-0 comeback.
You know what else I was thinking about? I completely forgot to text it to you. I don't think it would have made it far, but I thought maybe it was worth mentioning. Was the Jaguars versus Patriots divisional or championship?
Oh, the Miles Jack.
Yeah, when they called Miles Jack down, would have put him
That's
up
a good one.
By 17 points if they allowed him to return that.
Yeah.
I just feel like, I don't know if that would have made the top 10, but
top 10. It would have been in consideration for sure.
But yeah, I felt like that was worth mentioning. I forgot to text that or put that on the thing.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know if it makes the top 10 because I'm looking at like these moments. Like I don't think it makes it over. 10. Yeah, but it would have been like, a good honorable mention.
Bro, like,
yeah,
I mean,
these are some heavy hitters up here.
Yeah,
I think my next bid. We have 2 spots left now. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 spots left. My next bid. I was bidding on this earlier. Is Mahomes 13 seconds
to get out of here?
No, us to stay on. I like it to stay on.
To that one for dear
life.
Like
it, bro. I like it. What do you want me to? I mean, where's your head at as far as a stay?
Can I say when that play was happening, like I 100% thought they still had a chance. Like I did not think it was
when they got the ball back.
Yes. Like I really did, like watching that, like obviously watching it live. It wasn't that long ago, but I really did think they had a chance to do it, and especially after the first play, I was like, they're really gonna do it.
I remember when I watched this game, I had to go from a house to house, so I was watching part of it on my phone on the way to my house, and then when I got there and watched it, I specifically remember that Gabe Davis last touchdown with 13 seconds. And I remember in my head thinking like Josh Allen finally did it. Like he got over the hump. He beat Mahomes. And then as soon as I saw their defense when they came out there and just like allowed them to catch it, I'm like, yes. I mean, what are we doing? Like one of the worst defensive calls that you'll see.
For like 20-something yards.
But it's like they lined up like if it was a Hail Mary. Like I never got that. Like there's so much time. 13 seconds? Are you kidding me? With timeouts? Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? But I still think it's tough. It's tough. I think the Vikings 30.
Yeah, we could put it on there.
You think so? We
only got one more.
We'll have it on the fence for right now. We'll leave it on the fence for. We'll put it. But if you have an argument for one more, we can take it off and bring in another.
Can we take off Hopkins over 3 defenders?
You don't like that? Okay.
For 900, please.
That's a good one though. I like that. I liked when we were getting down to it. I'm like, I obviously was.
I just feel like for me, it's like, if for some reason it's just not. It's obviously an amazing play, but I don't know. It just doesn't hit the iconic button in my head for some reason. Okay. Maybe it's just. I think it's just because it's the Cardinals. I don't know.
Yeah, I can.
Like D-Hop on the Cardinals, like bro, that's just yucky.
Okay, so we have 3 options left in one spot. We have Henry's King Quake. We have Chiefs versus Rams offensive shootout, and we have the Vikings 33-0 comeback. What I want to do, we have these 3 spots. I want to count down from 3, and we say which one we want to eliminate, see if we're on the same page. If not, we'll go back and forth. And then after that, when we have 2 spots left, I want to count down from 3, and then we say which one we want to keep. All right? All right. So I'm going to count down from 3, and you don't have to say the whole thing. You can either say Vikings, Chiefs, Henry. Or, Vikings, Chiefs, Henry for what you want to eliminate.
All right.
So I'm going to count down from 3, and we're going to see. 3, 2, 1. Chiefs.
Henry.
Oh. Okay. So you're voting for Henry to go. I voted for
So how do we do this, then?
Do you know what I think is funny? Did we just answer a question in 2? Are we both for keeping the Vikings?
Yeah.
I think we essentially just answered it.
Vikings, yeah.
I mean, yeah, because that's what I was gonna. When we got down to it and we did keep, I was gonna vote for the Vikings with the 33-0 comeback for the largest comeback in NFL history. And yeah, we just so happened to complete the list on accident. And there is our official top 10 moments over the past decade. No order. 28-3.
I don't see that.
He's currently deleting it from the document. 28-3.
In order. Hold on.
No, I said
the fuck said this is the order.
I said no order. I said no order. 28-3, which that would still be number one.
Why do you keep reiterating? We get it. It's on the list. God damn.
28-3.
It's not number one for my list, okay?
Saints no call, Minneapolis Miracle, Rodgers Hail Mary, Philly Special, Mahomes 13 seconds, Saquon backwards hurdle, DeMar Hamlin, double doink, Vikings 33-0 comeback. I'm going to be honest. I think we nailed this, bro. I think we nailed this. I think this is a really, really good list. Like, I think you can have arguments for certain things, but I really, really like this list. When you talk about,
I think honestly, my number one too. It's not 28-3, and maybe you could say there's bias behind that. I don't give a shit. That Minneapolis Miracle just hits different.
No, yeah, I could agree with that. I could.
It's fucking. I mean, insane.
it's the only walk off in NFL playoff history
in Minnesota.
Yeah, like you can never recreate that. Like that footage angle where it's like that person recording Stephon Diggs from his phone, and he just throws the helmet. The crowd erupts. Like, bro. Like that, you can't even write that in a movie. Like, that is like one of the most perfect moments in all of sports history. Like, I could agree that I could put that over 28-3, like, without a doubt. But that is our official top 10 moments over the past decade. I really think we killed it. That was a lot of fun. That was fun. I can't wait till we get to the off season. We can do a bunch more lists and things like that, because that was a lot of fun. But let us know what you guys think about that. If we did miss some moments, I feel like we tried to hit on a lot of moments. I don't think we missed anything too big. Like, I don't think we're gonna miss on anything that's gonna for sure make the top 10. We probably had some honorable mentions that we didn't mention or didn't talk about, but I think we killed that. Honestly, that was a ton of fun. But yeah, I mean, we've been going for a minute now. It's getting pretty late. That was a ton of fun.
I think if we did have a large amount of viewing, I think there would be Steelers fans in the comments asking us about TJ Watt.
Yeah.
And him talking dude, it's just so funny because I love TJ Watt and I still like him, but the cult following that follows him around, right? The rant on this again.
It's heavy.
On social media, it's crazy, dude.
It's almost like
ride for him.
It's almost like a Hurts quarterback thing. It's like you just have
it's
these
so much worse than that though, dude.
Yeah.
It's because it's been going on for years. And I get it, like him and Myles Garrett has been a thing, but it's like, I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny. Steelers fans are crazy. They're crazy. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. That was a lot of fun, a great episode, a lot of football to talk about. Unfortunately, we're not going to have an episode next weekend. I am going to be over at some families due to the holidays, and also I have some family members that are going out of town, so I got to take care of the spot. And yeah, I'm not going to have an episode next weekend or next week, but obviously you guys will be watching this on this upcoming Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody has some great times. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to rate us 5 stars. Until next time, we're out. Peace.